Good morning. This is Marina. I am your English teacher at primary education, and I will be teaching you in the second and in the fourth year. The School of Education decided to call it Laboratories. Mine are Laboratories. I love it because we're all in it together. Okay, so if you need to contact me, I am Marina Canapero, and you'll have my email address in the post. Okay, let me just tell you what we're going to be doing this year. From the benefit of my experience, we're going to be working very much on creating group projects. Group projects that will be posted and will be contained in Padlet. Padlet is something that was introduced to me by a very dynamic teacher, very creative, in a local primary school here in Arcella in Padova. And Padlet is practically a container, a board where you put a lot of content. It could be anything. It could be worksheets and PDF. It could be links to videos in YouTube. It could be your own videos that you post on there. It's all contained on one board, electronic, digital. So I love it as a way that you can also use in your teaching. It's a very, very practical tool, and it's one of a set of educational technologies that I use in the classroom to go alongside my face-to-face teaching. I have many years of experience in primary school, co-teaching with Italian teachers, teaching English to primary school. A lot of experience. I've also had some experience in a preschool, in a Chinese preschool, which was quite an experience for me. They had 3 languages to deal with. Can you imagine? Rule number 1, never underestimate the capabilities of your students. All right? They want to hear you speak in English all the way through the class. They don't want translations. Start immediately getting the mindset you're using the language as a vehicle in order for them to improve their listening, improve their understanding. Use it from day 1. They get used to it, all right? If not, they get lazy and they just wait for the translation. So don't do that, all right? Very, very important. Let me share my screen with you and let me show you, first of all, I'll make this a little bit bigger. You will be taken to my course in Moodle. This will be updated to the current academic year. So today it should be ready. And this is for B2 and B1. B1 is second year, so they still have to get to know me. B2, you've probably already met me in the second year. And B2 focuses on speaking. So there's no more writing, for this very simple reason that we need to focus on your speaking skills, on communication in English, because it's vitally important that you are up to standard to be able to conduct a lesson in English, in the English language. I mean, it seems obvious, but do you know how many teachers I've met who do everything in Italian, right? And the English part is very minimal. And that's not where you want to be when you're teaching English in the classroom. You want to use it, no matter what your level is. You know, you'll learn some skills to be able to give you at least the language you need to conduct the lesson, to maintain control and discipline in the classroom, to help students with instructions of what to do. I'll give you those through the course. And the course is divided into different modules. These are the first will be on learning and education. So I have modules structured in different phases. The first part of it, the course this year, will be on mindset. So I'm going to add some materials and some templates for you to use, and you're going to be working in groups. It'll be very, very dynamic course. You'll be working with one another. I'll encourage you very much to have coffee sessions together, speak in English, learn from each other, you know, and make it active and dynamic. And be an enthusiastic teacher. Be involved 100% and committed to improving your own level of language with a view to improving your students' language. Yeah, if you don't do it, they won't. All right, they see you as a model, okay, no matter what your level is. And the first rule is enthusiasm, passion, all right, commitment, okay. I have a lot of best practice materials in the course that we can share, talk about. There's the symbol of the apple. I always say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But in the sense that the apple is symbolic, you know, every day you add to your skills set. Yeah, you take care of yourself too. All right, you make sure that every day you are improving on your skill. Every day is another chance. I give you a lot of models, a lot of templates, a lot of best practice examples from different cultures. I was a teacher in Japan, so very often you will see me going to Japan for some examples. This is in preschool, and you can see how autonomous and how independent the students are already at a very young age. Okay. We will talk also about language learning in module 2, you know, acquiring language, how babies acquire a language, you know, how second language learners or additional language learners build on their vocabulary, on their skills, you know, the techniques needed to encourage that kind of learning, you know. And you'll be learning through your own learning. You'll be learning from each other and learning also from the students that you're teaching to through their mistakes, you know. Another best practice examples from the Montessori world. I love Montessori. Okay, we will also look at skills training, teacher training, the teaching as a profession. You know, what has led you to choose this kind of a profession? It's not for everybody. It's not for the light-hearted, for sure. In countries like Finland, not everybody can become a teacher. There's a very rigorous and very strict kind of entrance exam and a path that you have to take to become a teacher in Finland. So it's not for the light-hearted. I know from my own experience. So that would be module 3. We go on to module 4 as well, I think. I will go back there. But let me just show you Padlet. Here I have my dashboard with a lot of projects from previous students that you can use in your own teaching, and you can go inside and try to understand if you could probably improve on it or use some of the materials and some of the ideas that previous students have put in their Padlets. So let me just go to a couple. This is a whole dashboard of different types of Padlets based on healthy lifestyles, on building, on collaborating to make a better world. They all have themes. Themes on emotional intelligence, discovering emotions, protecting the environment, some lessons on creating a green classroom outside. Fantastic. That's a really good one. Some of them go back to 2020, to the beginning of the lockdown. Remember March 2020, when we were all forced to stay at home? and teachers suddenly had to get together and use the tools to be able to put their lessons online. And there's some beautiful examples of teachers in lockdown creating content and materials for their students who are online at home from their homes. So yeah, I have a good memory of that particular year. There was a lot of beautiful creations, beautiful content. Let's go to two examples. Here we have a lesson on inclusion. What if we were all the same? And we have Greta, Valentina, and Alessia and Sarah, who created. Here they introduced themselves in the first part. It's structured. It's a good way of organizing your materials, Padlet, because it structures it in a particular way. Here in columns. Okay. Here they introduce themselves, a short video, and they talk about their motivation for becoming a teacher, what brought them here, what their goals are for the following year or for the next 5 years, depending. This part is dedicated to lesson planning. The age group that their lesson is directed at is 9 to 10 years, so 4th year of primary school. The time allocated is 2 hours, and here is their lesson plan. Let's have a look. So lesson planning will be something that all of you will learn to do in my course. Lesson planning is vital for any effective teacher. So lesson planning involves creating a step-by-step process, a framework by which you conduct your lessons, all right? And here they're working in groups together. The lesson plan is also used and uploaded when you do your exam at the end of the course. You will need a lesson plan in the 4th year. Lesson plan is vital, is a vital part of your of the course. So here you can see how it's structured, the age group, the time needed, the objectives of the lesson. Here they talk about identity, describing physical characteristics and hobbies, language structures that will be necessary to teach in the class, target vocabulary, adjectives describing sports and hobbies. You know, it's got a lot of potential. Printable worksheets. Printables are very important at primary school, at preschool, because printables don't need to be reinvented. You can actually obtain them from some websites. For example, I use ESL Kids Stuff and Teachers for Teachers, where teachers group together worldwide and submit their worksheets and their ideas for lessons, their own, and download those from others based on different themes. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, okay? Get that into your head, your mindset, that you help each other, creating content, creating worksheets, step-by-step process, how to do something. It could be on any theme you can imaginable. So when it's English teaching, my focus will also be on CLIL, which is content and language integrated learning, where you can produce and create a lesson plan based on a scientific theme, but teach it in English, okay, when you get a little bit better, of course. So anything is possible. I want you to get that mindset that you are co-creators, all right? So we can go through this lesson plan. Let me see if I have it. I'm trying to see where I have it. I had a template for the lesson plan, but I will make that clear in the Moodle course, okay? So another one, this one is a Padlet based on emotional intelligence. I can feel a lot of a lot of students have been suffering during these 2 years of the pandemic. Also psychologically, emotional trauma, emotional stress, you know, in their families. And they bring these also to the classroom. So, you know, dealing with emotions, dealing with the way they feel is very important. Finding stories, finding content that will kind of hone in, will help them to process these emotions. And this is all in English and by this wonderful team. Elena Zordan, Rim Jadou. She is an incredible teacher. She's a mother too, with very creative, very dynamic, very enthusiastic. I love her. Maria Altissimo, what a great name. Altissimo, highest. Yeah, couldn't have a better name than that. And Chiara Tognetto, very, very, very focused teachers. And I know they're doing great things now. So they've worked together. They've created a lesson plan based on, let's go to the I Can Feel. This is the title of their lesson, Emotions and Inclusion. They develop an outline of what the lesson or the series of lessons will be about. In the table, they structure all the general objectives, who it's intended for, how many hours it will take, the objectives, the language structures that will be focused on, target vocabulary, dealing with colors and emotions, words of kindness, and activities, action verbs that will be needed. Printables include flashcards and a Color Monsters printable. The Color Monsters is a beautiful, beautiful book. I have the pop-up version by a Spanish writer. I've forgotten the name. It's Elena something. Anyway, a song here, Michael Jackson's We Are the World, and links to other materials online, and materials and props that you need also for the class. Okay, they go through it in great detail. The structure in lesson 1, the structure in lesson 2, and the structure in lesson 3. So they go into greater detail here. So I love it. I love it. So there we are. That's the kind of document you will prepare together in your groups, and you will update if you are in the 4th year you will upload into the Language Centre's testing website before you take the exam. The exam will be spoken. I'll be speaking, and let me see if I can just go through very, very, very quickly. That will be a next video. That will be a next video. Let me focus on this for the moment, just to give you an idea of, you know, what the plan is. The exam format will be based for the 4th year entirely on speaking. Okay, so you have, and speaking will be into a computer-based testing system. I will talk about that in my next video. So get the mindset, get ready. It's going to be an absolutely superb course. You're going to really enjoy it, make the most of it, take advantage of it. Please contact me with any queries that you may have, and then I will answer them, because we're starting next week. So you're going to be there. All right. Step up, and I'm ready for it. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and please get in touch with me with any queries you may have. All right. Bye-bye.